Jason Lee Podcast.
All right, we're back for all new episode of the Jason Lee Podcast. Listen, I am so excited for today's show because it's almost coming to an end. Not the show, but like our season, because we do take breaks. Work-life balance is something that I do not support at Hollywood Unlocked, but for the show, we do support it for the show. All right, but yeah, so we're nearing the end of this season or whatever season this is of the Jason Lee Podcast. The Jason Lee Show has one more episode coming, and then we're going on a break for a couple months so we can enjoy the summer, but really not going to enjoy the summer because I'm going to be in the middle of a campaign running for city council, as we all know. But we are back right off the, is it the cusp? No, when you're on the cusp, you're on the way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We're off the dust of our award show, the Hollywood Unlocked Impact Awards that just happened a couple weeks ago. It hasn't aired yet. You know, to be airing exclusively on the Zeus Network. Well, listen, we had the time of our lives. This is literally Rob and I's favorite time of the year. It is our company Christmas. It is the day that we give our gift of the culture and our love and appreciation for it to honorees. And this year we had some of the best, most fabulous people that you can think of who are well-deserving. And I have to say, people say this, and I watch it online where they say it gets better every year. It literally gets better every year. We have been, we're now in the 4th annual, going into the 5th annual next year of the Hollywood Unlocked Impact Awards, a creation that I started some time ago. And those of you that have been following my story know it happened when I was denied an opportunity to go to the VMAs. I said, I'll just create my own award show. And this year, actually, I said, I don't want to go to any more award shows. You know, I go to the Grammys, and this year I was on the red carpet of the Grammys because I was very intentional about us having space and having representation and inclusion. That's the only reason why I did it. I've never hosted a red carpet before that. I had a great time doing that. I may do that again next year to continue to have that presence. I don't go to the Billboard Awards. I don't go to the Emmys. I haven't been in anywhere that I don't have a purpose for being there. And now with having this last award show a couple weeks ago, I no longer feel a desire to go to an award show. And if there's any other type of award show that I'm missing, I'll just create it. And so there's a lot to unpack with just that last statement there. But I want to first start by giving Rob his kudos for producing a phenomenal show. He stayed calm the entire time. But I have to tell you, a lot of shit was going down behind the scenes that nobody saw. Rob lost the tickets to the show an hour before the show. What the hell, Rob? How did you do that?
Because we were kind of short-staffed and we didn't have somebody who was managing the guest list for us. So Andrew and I were just like, we'll do it. So we jumped in, and I had the tickets and I sat them down next to me, but I guess in the process of my brain doing 50 things, I moved them to the couch and didn't realize I moved them to the couch. So when I was looking for them, I was kind of like, I'm not going to panic, but I think the cleaning lady threw away the tickets.
Well, we have what I called a ritual, but I meant tradition, of me and all my friends meeting in my hotel suite before the show. So the night before I stayed in the hotel, the day of I stayed there, all my friends come, very, very specific group of people. We come, we have lunch, we talk, some go and smoke, some drink, whatever. But we all get there and kind of like bask in this moment of excellence that we've created. And it's really a time for us all to dress up and look sexy and look and just look, very nice. And it's a moment. Well, Rob ruined that moment when he called and said he couldn't find the tickets an hour before, literally as people were showing up to line up, because door opened at 6, but people showed up at 5. And so I'm rushing around. Me and all my friends are running around the room looking for it. And the brown bag is sitting on the couch. And I look, and it's right there. I'm like, they right here. Andrew wanted to go take a shower. I denied my assistant the ability to take a shower because we had to get the tickets. He ended up taking a shower later, allegedly. But either way, it was a phenomenal night. And I think that what I know for sure is that the culture is lacking events like that we own, and also that has that level of class and sophistication. There were a couple hiccups of people who came and decided to behave however they chose to behave. I do want to make an announcement here that Carlissa Southfold is now on that list of individuals who's no longer eligible to be at any Hollywood Unlocked event because she showed up and tried to fight Claudia Jordan. Now, this is not that type of situation. I don't care what network you're on or what type of culture you're a part of, what your house look like or what your upbringing is. If you act like an animal, I'm going to keep you in a cage outside of my event. So when you come to our events, we expect you to bring the level of class and sophistication as you are as you see when you walk in the building. This is one of which where this year we honored a lot of amazing people, and I opened it up to people to participate by coming. But when you come into our house, you have to know how to act, or you will not be allowed back in. And I only dropped her name because she's the one at the forefront of my mind, because I kept getting text messages about Carlissa, when she wasn't even at the top of the list of invitees. But after making it through the metal detectors and all that, she still became an issue. And, again, it's not just the Carlissas. There's at least 7 people that didn't even have huge incidents. It's just that your name was brought up in things that it shouldn't have been, and doing things at the event that I thought was just too much. And so now you are on a cannot come back ever list. And there's no real way of trying to fix that, right? It's just that if once you show me who you are, Oprah said to believe you. So blame Oprah. Don't blame me. But now back to the positivities. I mean, we were able to honor some of the most amazing people. Let me just go through a couple images. First, let me show you a picture of me and Christian Louboutin. Now, those of you know him as Mr. Red Bottom himself. That is my guy. I can't wait until you guys see what he called me at the show. And you know what? He called himself the same thing because he is. But that is my friend. But you know what I love about Christian is he's so inspiring. Just not the fact that there's African heritage, but all of what he stands for. And those shoes are worn on the feet of kings, queens, presidents, and first ladies, and me and Rob, because he gave us free pair of shoes. Did you like your shoes?
I love my shoes that they sent me. I'm obsessed.
Rob was so happy. Let me show you a picture of Rob. He took this picture and had the audacity to call me and say I look gay. Well, Rob, guess what? You're gay. Beautiful picture, though. I actually like this outfit. I thought you were definitely going to come in something lime green and tweed. I don't know why, because you always do something extra, like, but this look was
that would
good.
Be Sean.
The little bracelet was cute, rolling up the little sleeves so you could show your little wrist. Okay, whatever. Let me show you this picture with me, Christian, Cam Newton, and some other folks you may recognize in this photo really quick. We took a group photo. Ben Crump, Sharon Stone, Tiffany, Megan and her man, Jonathan Majors, DeBrat and her wife, Judy, Cam, Eric Bellinger, and the beautiful Amaya. This was a beautiful, beautiful shot. You can see Evan Ross peeking over my shoulder. Oh, and then also Elijah Kelly in between the brat. This is almost like a Where's Waldo photo, right? But this was all of us, and Megan Good, of course. This is all of us back there in the Christian Louboutin room. Let me show you what the Christian Louboutin room looks like that Rob and I designed with Wife of the Party. This beautiful, beautiful room was a room that we created in order to capture our images because we wanted to do portraiting of our guests, and we didn't know what to do. We had a whole idea for what this photo moment was going to look like.
Yes.
But I kind of messed up the suite by pulling it from one room into another, and then we just said, let's just use the corner, but they came out beautiful, right?
Yeah, it came out beautifully. And don't forget, we also canceled that room the day before, and we're like, you know what? We don't need that room.
The red room.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of the budget. One thing about Rob is he loves doing this event. He just be working, but he's not working from a budget. So what he does is he builds everything that I want, and then he goes, oh, I gotta talk to you. That's an extra $300,000. So as we were building this event, I told him our budget was like $900,000, $950. I think we ended up spending like $1.4 million.
Huh?
Yes.
What did you think all that was just free? No, it was free to y'all. It wasn't free to us. My poor American Express is tired.
It's on fire.
Whenever I pull my American Express out now, it goes. But no, we spent about $1.4 million on this, and we created this from scratch, all on our own, because we knew we were going to honor Christian, and so it was really, really important for us to create a space. Cardi B was there. Let me show you Cardi's photo. She came looking fabulous in all black. This is her little headshot. This could be her new yearbook photo. Let me show the full body, full length, because there's two here. Okay, and here's another photo of Cardi right here looking fabulous. And then Tiffany, our host, let me show you Tiffany's photo. Tiffany looked amazing. She brought the hair back. Okay, it's no longer the blue, green, yellow, blue, yellow, blonde pixie cut that she had last year. And then there's this photo of over the shoulder, Christian looking over my shoulder with a few notable faces. I really loved how he captured these special moments. Cam was in there, but he's so big, he kind of fell on the outside. And then there was Megan and Jonathan Majors. This photo right here I thought was really beautiful too.
It's iconic.
Right? It was a great moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have DeBrat and her wife, Judy, who was also there. And then do we have Ben Crump and Sharon Stone by themselves? I think we have them. We had Sharon Stone, the icon. What other photos do we have? Who else?
Iyanla.
Oh, Iyanla, yes. We have Fat Joe, looking amazing. Just go through who we have left. We have Fat Joe. We had, we did have white people at the show, so Food God was there. I haven't posted this yet. He came with a black girl, Jessica Rich. Shout out to them. They definitely shot that. Marlo, one of our presenters, she presented to Jasmine. And then we had, I want to say, shout out to Kyle Afferny, the CEO of the Neighborhood Talk. He came in. Again, this is a night that we celebrate all of media. It's not just all about Hollywood Unlocked. So shout out to Kyle for finally making it, looking all dapper. And then Jasmine Crockett, the Congresswoman, Jasmine Crockett, put some respect on her name. Okay. And then Christian, of course, showing off his red shoes. Must be amazing. And we introduced him to Mother Iyanla Vanzant. Raven Simone and her wife Miranda was there. Now I have to tell you, Miranda and Raven invited me to their podcast. Now I don't know if they saw fucking because I'm gonna always keep it real and say what I think. And what I love about Raven and her wife showing up is because there are people who don't come on this show when we talk about them because they get offended when our opinions, my opinions, happen to enter the conversation. But I love the fact that not only did Raven pull up and support and have a good time, but she pulled me aside and she said, "This is a really beautiful event." And then she DM'd me on Instagram. We exchanged numbers, and now she wants me to come on our podcast. And she says she wants to kiki. So I don't know where this can go. It could get really slippery over here. But shout out to Raven and Miranda for coming and having a great night. But what I will tell you is the feeling in the room was something that you had to be there to get it. You're going to watch it and you're going to feel it too. But like I was looking over, people were crying. People were wiping their eyes. I mean, we had more speeches with people crying than I think I've ever seen on TV. And that's when you got it right. That's when I knew that the intention of what we were building was right. And this year's theme was protecting our platform, protecting our power. And I feel like we accomplished that. Marina, when you were there, what did you feel or what did you see from your angle?
So all the speeches, like you said, it was all like heavy hitting stuff. It wasn't a lot of fluff. Everything was very intentional from like open to close. Speeches got long. But every sentence I feel like mattered, and I cannot wait for it to be packaged up in a bow for everyone to see it because it was beautiful.
Yeah. What was your thoughts?
Yeah, and to the speeches part, one of the interesting parts was a lot of people were not scripted. They were speaking from the heart. So, and that was really the mood of the room. It was very heartfelt. It was like a family. So even though it was a room full of, really powerful influential celebrities being honored for their impact on the culture, it felt like a family, and it came through in their speeches.
Yeah. And what I love is how intentional we move as a company, right? We did a really good deal with Lemuel Plummer and the Zeus Network. Shout out to, I got to give y'all a round of applause because y'all see how much they be fighting over there. Well, guess what? It took us to come and bring up a different blend, that we brought a different blend of content. This is definitely different than what they've had. Yes, they had Floyd Mayweather's fight there that Jocelyn turned into a circus backstage with the brawl. But, we brought over something different. And I want to say I take my hat off to Lemuel and his team for figuring out a deal that made sense. We still own the show. We are exclusively distributing it via the Zeus Network. Lemuel also took the stage in a really long conversation and shout out speech, which we will be trimming down. But it was, I think everybody was just feeling the love in the room and feeling the power of what two Black owned companies did in coming together. And what I will say is I decided to honor Jonathan Majors because I believed and still believe that redemption is a part of all our journey. But I was going through a crazy week of press and crazy week of viral energy online where people were upset or this or that. And everybody started creating narratives around what I was doing and why I was doing. Some people were saying, well, he just hosted a dinner with Rihanna 2 months before, who was a survivor of domestic violence. So why would she wouldn't be friends with somebody who was then 2 months later honoring somebody who had been involved with domestic violence? Well, I didn't even get into the weeds of his case because I didn't have to. I created the conversation I wanted to around redemption and this life sentence that people give people when they make mistakes or when they find themselves in situations where it doesn't pan out the way that they wanted to. We saw it happen with Johnny Depp when he went through what he went through with Amber Heard. He lost everything and then was redeemed, and all of a sudden he's back on top. We've seen it with Robert Downey Jr., who was a heroin addict and who was allegedly beating women was found guilty, went to jail and all of that, and still became a Marvel superhero. We saw it with Elvis Presley sleeping with young kids, and he's your king. So I don't know what you all think about when you look at the world, where you're sitting, but I look at it both macro and granular. From a macro level, the rules don't always apply to everybody the same. And on a granular level, we don't even care about the granular details. We just care about what the headline is. Well, I was honoring humans, not headlines. And that event, that moment, when you see it on the Zeus Network, go download the app right now. When you see it, come back and tell me what you think about it. Because I will tell you, everybody in that room was resonating with the fact that we all fall down and we all have moments. And I talked about my own personal story that you'll have to see when you watch the show. When you saw the Jonathan Majors moment play out, what did you think?
I thought it was perfect, and it was exactly what the intention was for the night, right? And I think a big part of the conversation should be that people are so invested in like the negativity and the vitriol of social media, and we get so pulled into that we don't think about, like you said, he's a human, he's not a headline, and redemption is deserved. And I think it was a beautiful moment. I think his speech was powerful. I think the introduction to him was powerful. The way it all played out, which I cannot wait for people to see and experience it in person, was
people were coming
insane.
up and slapping me from behind because they were just, and you know what part I'm talking about, where I knew what was happening because I produced it. But we knew what was going to go on. But like as it was happening, people, I think, were having their own moments. What was the reaction?
I don't want to give too much away also, but I do genuinely feel like Jonathan needed that night. Like it was refreshing to see him just be so open and like open to the room and being like, I needed this energy, and it was a lot of love. Like there was not a dry eye. I kept looking around. I was trying to look at you to see you slip up with a tear too.
But I did get emotional when he finally got up on stage with Iyanla. That part was like, because I felt like
hard.
He needed that, and he hadn't had that. But a lot of us have that. A lot of us need that, and I felt like he finally got it.
And to see Megan, I love like to watch her, watch him, and watch the room. Like I was like, ooh, I love their love together. Yeah. It was real. I liked it.
The only negativity cute. I saw online, really, I mean, because the social media stuff is just noise. It was from Amanda Seales. Like Amanda, I'm gonna. Tiffany Haddish has a new book called "I'm Gonna Curse You with Joy." I'm not gonna curse you with joy. I'm just gonna keep it real. I have an affection for Amanda Seales and grew respect for Amanda Seales for what she went through with The Real, because I knew what that was, or whatever. At least I thought I knew what it was. It's instances like what I've saw with Amanda over the last month play out that makes me start going, right? Like I know Issa Rae personally, and I think Issa Rae's dope. I think she's sweet, she's nice, she has the most beautiful skin, and she's the best person to sit next to on a flight. I don't have any negative things to say about her, and have never really heard anything negative about Issa Rae. In fact, everybody that knows her loves her. Charlemagne, I mean, I can go on and on. So I've given my platform to you, Amanda, to tell your side. I've come to your house. I sent you flowers, apologizing for my schedule being mixed up and me not being there. You acknowledged that on your show. I came to your show. I let you ask me any question you want. I answered it all the way that I felt truthfully. You came on my show. You answered your question. I believed we had this relationship. I know that Amanda was upset that I questioned her self-diagnosis of autism and her backtracking of it all online. She's really good at gaslighting social media for clicks, when I really don't even think she pays attention to half the shit she's saying at this point. You stand for Black progressive movements, but then you go and post a photo of our invitation to you to this Black-owned award show that you cried about when Essence did the article on you, and you said that you don't get invited to any Black-owned award shows. I invited you, and you took the invitation and put it on your what's that thing?
Patreon.
On your Patreon account with a laughing emoji because you hate Tiffany Haddish. You're jealous of Tiffany Haddish. You are mad at Tiffany Haddish because she's invited in spaces that you get thrown out of. And you're just not a happy person. But when I saw you make light of the fact that we had invited you, me and Tiffany literally talked about intentionally inviting you to the award show so you could be included, and you made a joke out of that. Then you went on social media and you attacked Iyanla without having even seen her speech on how she delivered that moment for Jonathan, which is going to be very big for our culture, you attacked it and criticized it as an outsider. You literally are the epitome of what white supremacy does to black people, sits on the outside and judges. When you're actually black and you're supposed to be woke black, even though you're in Calabasas with the Kardashians, you're clearly out of touch. You're clearly delusional. And I don't care, smart people are still stupid and stupid people sound smart. And somewhere in that, you'll figure out which one you are. But you don't have to worry about being invited to anything else over here. You don't have autism. You're fake, you're late, and you're a fraud. And so when you get mad at people for getting mad at you, just understand that everybody don't have the right barbecue sauce to come to the picnic. And your potluck dish is nothing but potato salad with raisins. I'm looking at a black woman who is angry, who is mad, and who is losing grip with reality because she's caught up in her own shit. And people aren't going to tell you that because they're afraid of your rant. I will rant, go back and forth with you day and night. But unfortunately, I'm running for office so I can change the communities that I wake up in while you just go to your TikTok and tick your life away. We're not feeling that over here, and it's sad that you had to do that. But you can't be mad that on the same day you called me to thank me, or no, the same day you called me to tell me that a woman in Grenada told you that my interview with you was the best, and get mad on the same day that I criticize you for saying that you have autism, but you were clinically diagnosed by yourself, when I have a nephew that just graduated high school with autism. So for us, those of us that have people in our lives that have autism, that's a real thing that my sister lives with on a day-to-day basis, is a real thing. When we see people like you make a mockery out of it and sound like a fool, then go and gaslight black people into saying how you're never welcome into black spaces. Then when you do, you make a mockery of it. Then you go online and you literally attack a black woman for what you believe she's doing when you fail to show up to see it for yourself. You're a joke. And I'm sorry if that hurts, but it probably doesn't, because you look like an emotionless person that somehow cries herself to sleep with fake tears, okay? And that's how I feel about you and the situation. And it was surprising that I'm not a subscriber to your Patreon because I don't subscribe to trash, but somebody that is subscribed sent it to me to show me what you did, and they were disgusted by it. Sad. Do better. Do you want to say anything?
Yeah. You can be very loud and very wrong at the same time. And then to make people pay to hear you be loud and wrong is sick. You weren't there for the moment. You shouldn't have spoke on it. I'm very disappointed because I used to love Amanda Seales.
And then it's like you tout yourself as wanting to be black excellence. No wonder you can't get in the gold party. Now you can't get into the copper party. You can't get in our party. You can't get an Issa Rae party. You know, it's like every party. But you know what? You'll somehow be the victim. You're going to turn this into a, look at this big old black gay man attacking me. Nah. You got up there, put your big old face right in that screen, and had the audacity to attack Ayanla without even knowing the facts. Like, what's woke about that? You don't even, this isn't even about an apology, because the fact that you criticized a black-owned, black-created, black-targeted, black excellence-based event because you had your own issues with Tiffany Haddish. Now, don't have me get Tiffany in here and talk about all the jealousy and lies and the way that your personal issues with Tiffany, because that's what you were really shading. You just probably didn't think about it being my event because it said Tiffany Haddish hosting the Impact Awards, and you did a whole joke about that. So I really don't know what to say other than do better. All right, we'll move along. Before we get into the tea with Jason Lee, I got to talk about the 2024 BET Awards, because we're talking about awards. I'm going to now go right from what I said about Amanda attacking a black-owned event. And I'm going to criticize a black-targeted event, because the BET Awards, even though Big Mike got caught, is Big Mike?
Killer Mike.
Whatever, he big. But even though Killer Mike got caught up in his moments, this is not a black-owned award show. Now, we love BET. I want to start by saying that BET Awards is an important space because we need all the spaces that show up and and highlight Black excellence and Black culture creators. And BET Awards historically has been that. Now, I remember the BET Awards back when Bob Johnson was there. I know the BET Awards when Stephen Hill was there. And after Stephen Hill left, these award show has gone down the drain. And I'm going to start by saying again to all the sponsors, we need the BET Awards because we need spaces that can continue to allow us to show up. However, we also need those same sponsors to pour into the Hollywood Unlocked Impact Awards, because the difference between Hollywood Impact and the BET Awards is this is a white-owned award show and mine is Black-owned. And when brands sponsor award shows, businesses, brands, media companies that are Black-owned, there is when you start to close the gap on generational wealth gaps in our country. I know that was a lot to unpack, but think about it. You're pouring millions of dollars into an event to highlight Black people, titled Culture's Biggest Night. But how is Culture's Biggest Night owned by a white woman? That to me is the craziness, right? Now, if I had to say Culture's Greatest Night, I can say the Essence Festival. Like, even though me and Essence may not be on the same page with personal things, I believe as an organization, they are the biggest music festival in the world. They are a Black-owned business. Richie Lou Dennis, shout out to Richie Lou, owns them. He just bought Revolt. And that is a company and that is a brand and that is a platform that I would say is Culture's biggest night. Maybe they're saying not Culture because it's mostly your grandma or your uncles and aunties that go to Essence, because it does target a more older audience. It doesn't target. But Culture's biggest night should not be owned by a white woman. It should be owned by someone in the culture. So that in itself, for me, is the wake-up call. And when you have somebody like Killer Mike say that it was honored, what did he say? He said something to the effect of it was great that he's being honored at a Black-owned award show by somebody. What did he say?
He said, a Black man runs this business, a Black company put this show on, and they got my Black ass in here. Thank y'all. Mm-hmm.
Viacom is not owned by a Black person. And BET never sold to Tyler Perry. Don't know what that was about. But either way, it's not a Black-owned award show. What I saw last night or the other night when I watched this, and this is just my opinion, again, I could be wrong, but you can definitely have it out in the comments. It was the BET Hip Hop Awards, number 1. Okay. Number 2, with all the female dancers, all the female rappers who performed last night, it was like ass shaking, twerking. That was not Black excellence. I think you need a Sexy Red, who I thought Sexy Red did a great performance. And look, shout out to Lotto, beautiful. Shout out to Ice Spice. Shout out to all the women who showed up to do their thing. But I think the way it was produced, having so many of you all doing it all at, like, Meg Thee Stallion opened up in a bikini. Lotto came out in what looked like booty shorts. Then
Ice Spice came
out in booty shorts. Like, that's not all Black excellence. I'm sorry. All of you are good. Most of you have a lot of fame and no money. But the fact that you came out and performed, what?
It was the no.
I'm sorry, there's a lot of famous broke people because you're not focused on ownership. All of you are literally just in these 360 deals twerking for a Birkin and then not getting anything at the end of it all. You're all going to be famous and poor later. But look, for now, let's just stay locked into where we are. Ushers, all those performances before, yeah, you could say this was cute, that was cute. Chris Brown is the only person that should have been performing in tribute to Usher because he literally is the best in that lane. Not to mention he lost to Usher, which created a hysteria of fans online. And the real reason why you don't want Chris Brown there was because of something he did over 20 years ago or maybe 15 years ago. And so we'll just call it what it is. You're literally holding Chris Brown accountable for the very thing that Rihanna has let go years ago, and everybody is tired of talking about and tired of holding him accountable to. And at this point, this is what and how the world teaches us how they will continue to control and contain our culture. Now, you muted Usher's mic. You disrespected Keith Lee, the food critic. I don't know why you put the food critic on the front line anyway. There was no cupcakes, bacon, or sausages there to serve. There was no food there. You literally were chasing viral opportunities to have somebody talk about your struggling, failing show, and it fell short. On top of that, nothing was exciting about the pre-show. The carpet looked a mess, and nobody even seemed excited to be there. And then you wonder why Jay-Z and Beyonce, they don't want to get dressed up in their finest linen to go down there in the Chitlin circuit and have a fucking whatever that was. Okay, you don't have Irvin Magic Johnson. He not gonna live out his last years on earth sitting up there with y'all. Meaning we're getting older.
I know he's getting older. I know what you meant.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying. It's like every time I talk, the room is like, ugh, yeah, you know. As we get older, nobody wants to spend those moments in those rooms. Now, again, this is not a cancel the show commentary. This is a do better commentary. And this pushes me to say, that's why our show, and this is not hater commentary. This is if you go to my show and you go to this, very complete contrast difference. Our show, I think, is what BET used to be when it honored people. But I think because linear television is changing, they're trying to stay up with what's popping and popular. And guess what? You could have had Megan Thee Stallion and Sexy Red, and that was enough for that. Then you could have mixed in other people. We needed more elegance. Taraji. Let me first start by saying I love Taraji P. Henson. I love her when she's acting off a script. I love it when she's on TV shows and movies. I know this was your third year, Taraji. Don't come back. Don't come back. It was not your best thing. I think reading from a teleprompter is not your skill. I think Kamala Harris pulling up with you on FaceTime was cringy as fuck. And when Kamala said she was outside, girl, you know you ain't been outside. You may have been outside raising money. You may have been outside in Uganda. You may have been outside in Germany. You may have been outside for the climate summit. You ain't been outside. I've been telling you to come outside, but you live in that bubble that ain't letting you see what outside look like. And now you see what it looked like because we all reacted to that wild ass video. And you were talking slang. Kamala, that ain't how you talk. You're a smart, beautiful, educated Black woman that comes off as auntie privately, but like you try to come off as sister girl when you ain't sister girl nothing. No, it was bad. It was bad, and it was embarrassing to watch. And an indication that performative politicking is a thing that we've been warning you about. I told you privately, I told you publicly, I told your team. This is why I think the Democrats they're struggling with the election right now. But anyway, I don't want to get too much into politics. I was very dissatisfied with it to the point that I turned it off and went to bed because I couldn't lose any more brain cells. I couldn't give you all any more. In fact, I told BET I will not come back to another award show because the last year you told me to come, I walked in. You told me I had front row seats. I got there. I was in the 5th row next to Lil Boosie and Lil Mama. I got up and left. I don't belong between Lil Boosie and Lil Mama. It just doesn't. If I knew that's where I was showing up, I wouldn't have been there. Plus, you don't allow people to have proper security. It's just the whole thing was just wrong. I'm gonna call it now. The BET Awards is on the decline unless they do something really significant, like bring back Stephen Hill or just like do something completely different. It's going to be done. Nobody's going to want to go to this. Nothing positive came out of this. Nothing. In fact, Ray J and Lemuel from the Zeus Network almost beat each other up. Shout out to all the presenters. Shout out to all the performers. Shout out. My highlight of the night was watching Eris, T.I. and Tiny's daughter, and the little girl rap together with the little DJ from Stockton. Y'all, congratulations to y'all. But other than that,
did you watch Will Smith's performance? Oh,
see, Will, you only pull it up because white people canceled you because you ain't welcome at the Oscars. You beat up Chris Rock, who then went on to make $40 million, calling your wife all types of bitches. And now here you are. You done rose from the rocks. You were standing up there rapping at 60 years old. No, I'm sorry. You're using the culture. Stephen A. Smith just said Will Smith owes the culture an explanation, and you gave us a performance of Welcome to Miami or whatever that was. I don't know what it was. What was it, a new song?
I think so.
And then you brought the choir out, Kanye's choir. You didn't even bring Kanye. You just brought Kanye's choir out.
And Kirk Franklin.
But you see he didn't let Kirk stand on the stage with him?
Yep.
How you gonna let Kirk Franklin, how do you make Kirk stand to the stage left?
Well,
Kirk, you should have stomped all the way off that stage. I'm about to text Kirk.
Shabuzi was great.
Shabuzi was great.
Brought out Jay Quan.
They had the other, the
Tanner Adele.
Taylor Adele. She was performing in the Nissan.
Sure was.
You know what's so crazy? How the new slave thing is. get these niggas to sell our brands. Y'all in Nissans performing in Nissan Maximas. Y'all performing with the American Express thing, but they'll never do that to the Oscars. They will never make you perform in a Nissan Altima at the Oscars. They will never have you perform with an American Express microphone at the Grammys. They will never, ever treat their award shows like flea markets, yet when they bring you in, they treat you all like fleas and cockroaches and have your faces and asses twerking over all their brands because they know that that's what y'all gonna do. Y'all gonna tap dance for your food. This culture is falling apart. And when I look at it, thank God, I am willing to go the extra mile. I am willing to work harder and with less than to sell my soul for that. It is sad to watch. You artists now run around talking about go Trump, and bling this, bling that, and I can't wait until those chains that you wear, talking about y'all got some Cubans, turn into some other type of chains because you all are now enslaved to the system. And I'm not, look, I'll work with every brand. I'll work with all of them. But the reason why I think we run into roadblocks with some brands is when we go there, we tell them what is authentic and what is not, what we will do and what we will not. And look in spite of all of it, we still pulled off an amazing event that was paid for. And again, shout out to Lemuel and the Zeus Network. Because had we decided to honor Jonathan Majors on CBS or NBC or ABC with a brand like a Pepsi or whatever, and that announcement went out, that announcement went viral and the whole world erupted, they would have pulled that advertiser and we would have lost the show. But because we did it on a Black-owned network that's not driven by advertising, that's driven by subscription, we were able to fully control it. Lemuel did not call me one time. Am I lying?
Nope, not one.
He didn't call me one time to ask me anything about what we were doing. But we did talk afterwards, and he goes, that was the most powerful night that I've ever been a part of. And I'm so glad that we're able to be a part of it at the Zeus Network. And I look forward to doing more business with Zeus. When you looked at the BET Awards, did you watch any of it?
No. I watched clips online. That's as much as I could invest.
What'd you think?
I agree with everything that you said. I was really saddened by the Usher tribute the most. But it looked like Usher didn't even want to be there. He was wearing like jeans. He didn't really, it didn't give that he cared. But like no shade, but like Tinashe was a part of that. I didn't understand that. I was like, where's Chris Brown? Where's this? But Keke Palmer was great. There were like great elements, but altogether it was just, it didn't give. And I feel like Taraji cared more about like her outfit changes than like the actual script.
Well, let me say that there were people that participate in the BET Awards that we did initially want to participate in our show. But having seen what you guys did there and having seen what we did at ours, I'm glad that you guys were unavailable because you would have ruined the intentionality of what we were creating. Everything came together so beautifully at our show that, again, you have to see it, and they're night and day. And I see all the comments in online saying, "Oh my God, the Impact Awards was better than this, better than this." Yeah, it was from a production and a impact standpoint. But you know, I think BET does really good with big performances, and I mean, it's become like a concert where they throw in a few awards, and with lots of branding all over it. But it's lost what it used to be. You know, when Monique came out years ago with the big girls dancing to Beyonce, and Beyonce was in the front row, and she had the whole moment where, like, that kind of thing is missing, where you actually have hosts that have real entertainment. I thought Taraji coming out and rapping "They Ain't Like Us," we couldn't really understand her rap. She really didn't. Practice it because she was just kind of all over the place, and the grill in her mouth made it hard to understand. It didn't land well. Yeah. Many missed moments, not anything that they should be proud of. All right, let's move on. It's time for Tea with Jason Lee. I know some of you guys are like, damn, that wasn't the tea. No, that was just that was just like a hello.
That was the appetizer.
Well, listen, welcome to my Black job.
Oh,
actually, God. This is my Black business. This is a Black-owned business. But Trump is under fire for his comments about black jobs. Now, you remember he recently had this whole thing called a debate. Well, those of you are still debating whether or not he won or lost. Well, either way, Donald Trump is being dragged by his former White House staffer, Omarosa, Newman, after his recent black jobs comment. Now, during the first presidential debate of the 2024 elections, President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump went head-to-head again 4 years after their first debate. Now, as Trump tried to slam Biden for inflation and immigration, he made an amusing remark that wasn't that amusing. Take a look.
And he caused the inflation. He's blaming inflation, and he's right, it's been very bad. He caused the inflation, and it's killing black families and Hispanic families and just about everybody. It's killing people. They can't buy groceries anymore. They can't. You look at the cost of food where it's doubled and tripled and quadrupled. They can't live. They're not living anymore. He caused this inflation. I gave him a country with essentially no inflation. It was perfect. It was so good. All he had to do is leave it alone. He destroyed it with his Green New scam and all this money that's being thrown out the window. He caused inflation. As sure as you're sitting there, the fact is that his big kill on the black people is the millions of people that he's allowed to come in through the border. They're taking black jobs now, and it could be 18, it could be 19, and even 20 million people. They're taking black jobs, and they're taking Hispanic jobs, and you haven't seen it yet, but you're going to see something that's going to be the worst in our history.
Thank you.
What is a black job? What is a Mexican Latino job? Now, I'm a black employer of a black-owned business, but what is a black job? That to me is more than a Freudian slip. That is an indication of what he sees belongs, or that we belong in, to us. A black job, so is a Latino job, a dishwasher, a valet driver, a car wash attendant. What is a Latino job? What is a black job? A fish fry? I don't even know what a black job is. I'm as smart as I am sitting here, having had many jobs, worked in probation, worked in education, worked in the labor movement, worked in nonprofits, community organized. I know so many jobs and careers I've been a part. I don't know what a black job is. When I heard this, I was in Aruba on vacation at Benihana's with my family, watching on the phone, and could not believe that somebody who's actually on the ticket to become the leader of the free world tried to gaslight black people and Latinos into believing that we were going to lose our jobs. Well, are you saying that the doctor jobs and the lawyer jobs and the space cadet jobs or the engineer jobs, those aren't black and Latino jobs? Because those are jobs that all of us who are black and brown aspire to be. I know my attorney was black, my attorneys now are black, but my attorney who passed is black. My publicist is black. What is a black and Latino job? The crazier part of that statement was that those of you online saying Trump 2024, co-signing the bullshit. When you first heard black and Latino jobs, that they're going to come and take 1 million, 20 million. First of all, there aren't even 20 million open jobs right now that I even know of. But those 20 million black and brown jobs, they're going to be taken. When you heard that, what'd you think?
It was par for the course with him. And that's why people who go immediately online and start trying to come up with an excuse as to what he meant. Oh, he meant jobs that are in proximity to. Oh, he meant jobs that illegal immigrants are able to take. So that's not a doctor. That's not a lawyer. You know they don't think we can be pilots because they don't want to get on the plane with us if we're flying it. So we know exactly what you meant. You said exactly what you meant. You meant the jobs that are beneath you, or in this instance, white people, because those are jobs for black and Latinos.
I did not even think, I thought he said block jobs. I'm like, there's no way he said black jobs. And I had to rewatch it. I'm like, that is crazy. And the whole debate in general was just so sad to watch. I'm embarrassed. I'm going to Croatia, y'all.
Well, listen, I think to be very clear, both of them were not good this night, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, I have 10 criticisms of Biden. I have 20 criticisms of Trump. And this is not a pro-Trump or anti-Trump commentary. This is a listen to the bullshit that was said. Now, along with the rest of us on social media, Trump's former staffer, Omarosa, slammed him during the TMZ interview. This is what Omarosa had to say.
What is a black job? Right? I don't know where he got that from, unless he's taken it all the way back to slavery, because the only 100% black job in this country was back in slavery time. And if Donald's taking it back then he's putting his racism right in front and center. But what is a black job? What is a Hispanic job? His statement was just so. It was just so insane. And a lot of people have been commenting on it. So I think his campaign should clarify, what did he mean by that? The Black and Hispanic community are not monolithic. So individually, people will decide which one of these candidates will help advance their lives and make their lives better, right? And they'll vote their interest. That's what I would hope. But I think that people will come to terms with the fact that Trump may not be equipped to deal with the racial issues that are going on in the country. In fact, he's kind of fed into a lot of them. I can't get into his head, because what does that mean? What is a black job? I mean, there were reports that in his casino, when he ran his casinos, that he didn't want African Americans counting his money, right? He didn't want African Americans as accountants, that he didn't want African Americans serving in certain roles. These are things that people reported from executives from his casino. So maybe he had those kind of designations in his organizations. Like I said, I'd like to hear from his campaign, from his spokespeople, to clarify what exactly does that mean, and what does that mean in the Trump organization particularly. The debates for me were a little surprising. Everybody's surprised about what happened with Biden, but I think that they missed what also was happening with Donald Trump. So Donald Trump's team prepared him, as they did when I worked in the campaign, they prepared him. But, Donald also clearly forgot some basic facts, right? Everybody's been fact checking him, but he loses track of time and events and so forth. So while he's bagging on Biden about his age and his memory, there's clearly something going on with Donald as well. And I've been talking a lot about Donald Trump's mental decline, and it's evident when you get fact checked and there's thousands of lies that you tell. There's also something neurologically going on with him as well, but you miss it because Biden's decline was front and center at the debate. In terms of style, it's very obvious that Donald Trump won. But in terms of substance, then, I'm going to have to say that Biden, because Biden was truthful with the American people. I mean, if the world is ending tomorrow, I want somebody to tell me the truth. I don't want them to tell me that everything's going to be okay. Biden may be aging. Biden may not be the best on the debate stage. But I want somebody who's not going to try to overturn the results of an election, a free and fair election. That's what I want in the leader of this country.
Say whatever you want about Omarosa. I don't disagree with her. I agree with everything she said there. And I think, he also proved how he was going to manipulate Black people by bringing her in as the head of the Black community. There was nobody that thought Omarosa should have been our speaker. And I love Omarosa. She knows that. But I think she's educated and she's smart and all of that. But we loved her on The Apprentice. I don't think we loved her at the White House working for Trump. And she could have, I think, been a part of Joe Biden's administration at that time had she been on that lane. But she was loyal to the man, instead of the people. And right now, we're seeing that all the people that were loyal to this man are on their way out because they've all distanced themselves from him because they all don't want to be in jail. Now, the craziest part of all that, since then, the Supreme Court ruled that he's above the law. And now, if you like Trump and you're like, yeah, that's right, he's above the law, you have to be very careful, because if you don't know history in this country, there have been presidents that you don't want to be above the law. And nobody should be above the law, because the fact is that there are jobs you can't have if you had a run-in with the law. Jonathan Majors, who lost his whole career for a misdemeanor, and he got 34 counts found guilty, and he's going to be the president? I feel like I'm in a bad dream and I don't know how to wake up or get people to wake up.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound right?
Yes. after the debate, I was in a place of extreme depression for like a day because I just really needed that performance from Joe Biden to be better. But also, I was just I knew if I opened my social media, it was going to be like, go Trump, go Trump. And he sat there and didn't answer any questions, spouted lies. And this is just what we're dealing with. And it's become the status quo. It's become normal.
Someone said if Joe Biden rolls up as a corpse on election day, they're still voting for him. Because at this point, it's democracy or die,
Yes.
right? Like, it's democracy or die. And we could be looking at the face of pure evil. Not necessarily just him, it's what he represents and the space he's allowing people to feel safe to show up in. The Proud Boys, this what's the 2025 Project 2025? Go do your research. You know, I ain't gonna say the person, but I caught a call from somebody yesterday who basically, in my opinion, ruined our relationship because they were trying to push the Trump agenda on me by telling me how he supports gays and trans and women. Now I understand why it was easy for Jim Jones to get y'all to drink that yellow that red Kool-Aid that you didn't wake up from. I'm sorry, I don't want it. And I don't know where this country is going. I know where I'm looking, you know, if, you know, I'm gonna be city council member, but you know, I don't know. It's getting kind of crazy. Democracy, guys, is a fragile instrument. Please, please do your research, because the things that you take for granted as just freedoms that we're gonna have just cause. No, those are freedoms that people fought for years, decades. People died for, sacrificed their lives for us to be able to have. What if they start saying we can't say certain things anymore? I've been to countries where you can't kiss your partner, you can't hold hands, you can't do anything. Do you want that? Do you want people to be able to tell you all the things you can't? You can no longer have guns. Now the Republicans want everybody to have a gun. I don't know. Everybody needs a gun. Scary times. Scary times. All right. Bye. Speaking of guns, Angela Simmons is under fire because she had a gun purse, a pistol purse. Now, she's deeply regretful after this controversial purse has created a conversation online. Now, she attended the 2024 BET Awards in an emerald gemmed gown and complimented it with an emerald bedazzled clutch, well, in the shape of a gun. And let me show you a picture of Angela with this gun purse. Yeah. Now, I don't know what made Angela think that accessory was going to go over well, but she wore it anyway with her dress. And so now this daughter of Reverend Joseph Simmons, a.k.a. Rev Run, she opted to hit the carpet with this gun clutch despite her fiance and son's father, Sutton Tennyson, being gunned down in 2018. Here's Angela Sutton and their son, SJ. And we remember that was just a real unfortunate situation. We've even had Angela on the show, and we talked about, you know, her raising her son without his father. Well, in addition to losing her partner to gun violence, her current boyfriend, Memphis rapper Yo Gotti, just lost his brother, Anthony Big Jook Mims, in January of this year. Now, Gotti and Jook attended a loved one's funeral, and at the repast, Jook was gunned down. Now, here's a photo of Gotti with his brother, Big Jook. And this was really, really sad. I remember when Yo Gotti posted about this. So we're, again, still sending our condolences to Gotti as somebody who's lost a brother. So I understand how that is. And so that's what people are saying, that they don't understand why Angela was disconnected from the optics of what it looked like to go to such a award show with a carpet and amplifying having a gun, while other people are saying it's just a purse. Like, what's the big deal? Well, if you're wondering what Gotti thought about it, he appeared to be cool with it as he posed with Angela backstage at the BET Awards. Here's a photo of them two together, and she's definitely pointing the gun right in the camera. Now, despite being affected by gun violence, Angela doubled down on her fashion choice, and here's what she said.
So I see a lot of conversation around the bag, the purse I wore to the awards, and normally I don't address like rumors and stuff, but I'm not like that. Never been like that. I'm super, like, I'm not violent. I've obviously been through a lot in my personal life when it comes to gun violence, and it's very personal to me, but I just liked the bag, and I thought it was cool, and I thought it was a fashion moment, and that was it. I didn't have any intentions of ruffling anyone's feathers. It seems like everyone's, or a couple of people, I'll say, are a little upset, but I don't mean no harm. I'm super, super peaceful, and yeah, I'm sorry if it bothered anyone, but that's not me. That's just not how I am.
Now, after hours and hours of being dragged for doubling down, Angela backtracked with an apology, and here's what she said. It's a long one. She said, I want to address the recent incident involving the green purse I carried at the BET Awards. When I chose the purse, I believed it was cute and unique, and I made a poor decision in using it as an accessory to amplify my beauty. I deeply regret that this item, which symbolizes a gun, was inappropriate and insensitive, especially given my personal and community experiences with gun violence. And she goes on and on and on and on to type what her publicist told her to. Well, Yo Gotti also took up for his girl and said this in his IG story. She just practicing, LOL. I know Angela personally, so I'm going to say that I don't think it needed to be addressed in a formal apology because it's a purse. She didn't bring a gun. She didn't come there acting like she was shooting people. She brought an accessory that she thought was dope for her look, and she could have been like, I'm killing this look with this purse that happened to look like a gun. Yes, this is a stretch, but either way, because I know Angela and I know her heart, I know what she's been through, I don't think she came with the intention of trying to cause harm that needed to rise to the level of a massive former platform apology. You know, sometimes people make mistakes, or some people just don't have self-awareness to know that in the world where there are other conversations happening, that maybe this person is not the right idea. But why are we not mad at the government for not banning assault rifles when people in Uvalde get gunned down, or when kids are being killed in schools over and over and over again? This level of outrage that you never get an apology for, by the way, from the government, for people that don't look like us. Why do we demand people that look like us always be apologetic and performative to your needs of feeling validated for your uproars and your upheavals of stuff that people are doing? Because the real institution is the government that refuses to address the things that are killing your kids when they go to school. Now, don't get me started, because again, go Donald Trump, go Donald. Y'all just gonna Bojangle right into the election anyway, so it doesn't matter. Angela, you shouldn't have apologized for shit. If anything, you could have posted the gun purse laying in a trash can and said, my bad, and left it at that, and went right on to Rain's cane chicken. What's the chicken? Canes, Raising Canes. You can went right over to Raising Canes and got that chicken with that sauce. Why waste your time? Am I wrong? Am I off?
No, you're absolutely right. It's selective outrage again, and it's again targeted at a black woman. But all of those people who are complaining probably went home and started playing some hip hop where somebody was talking about shooting and killing somebody, or they posted emojis of gun on a story where they were talking to their friends. These people,
or your pussy's pink and your booty hole's brown. Like,
exactly.
What?
Let the girl carry a purse.
It's a purse with no bullets in it. Like what? Angela, hold on. I'm gonna text Angela right now. Hold on. Angela.
Plus, it's the BET Awards.
Angela, not Angela Yee. Hold on. Wrong Angela. Angela. I'm doing my show right now talking about you and this purse you should not have apologized for. Okay, send. That's all. BET Awards got Angela Simmons in trouble. I said that's all. Take the.
What? She felt comfortable.
But I'm saying the BET Awards, you done muted Usher. You done let everybody twerk, worked and jerked. You got Angela Simmons under fire for a purse. What else is going on? The food critic is criticizing Taraji. He done threw the rose out. Mm-hmm. BET Awards done fell apart.
Oh my God. Fights after.
Ray J pulled up to beat up Lemio at Glorilla's party.
Oh, it's a mess.
I'm not going nowhere there. Listen, everybody kept texting me this weekend saying, oh my God, are you coming? I said, I'm not going near anything with a B in it, an E in it, or a T in it. Oh. And I didn't go anywhere. I got invited to all types of things. Hold on, Angela Simmons responding. Oh, I'll keep that between us. All right. This didn't happen at BET, but Rick Ross got punched in the face. Now, Rick You probably won't see this because you blocked us. I love you, Rick. You know you're one of my favorites. I love you. I'm going to always play your music. I ain't going to drink that Bel Air because I don't drink anymore. But I love Rick Ross's music. And I like Rick Ross. Every time I see him, it's all love. So let me start by saying that. There will be no Officer Ricky Rose jokes over here because y'all keep sending me memes of him in a sheriff uniform with a badge. Y'all are all crazy. Well, hold on. Angela sent me this text again. Well, they not like us because they getting punched in the face. The rap beef between Rick Ross and Drake lives on as Rose got punched in Canada. Now, Rick, before I even go there, I've been to Canada. We know that that's Drake country. Why would you go over to Drake country? Even if you was with Justin Bieber, why would you go over there on a weekend, even if you was with the weekend without proper army? You went over there a few months after you and Drake got into that whole beef, and you remember during Drake's beef with Kendrick, the fans didn't like how it all went down, and they don't want to let anything go, because at this show in Vancouver, at the show that Rick Ross was there, he decided to close his set blasting Kendrick Lamar's "They Not Like Us," and it resulted in a huge brawl that showed, you just like us. A group of about 15 guys circled around Rose and his security, and things got rough. Don't believe me? Just watch. Well, Drake is so shady because, he's just a petty pirate. He ended up liking a post showing Rose getting decked. Look. Messy boots. Well, after going viral, Rick Ross claimed that he and his team left the show without any injury and that he can't wait to go back to Canada. Meanwhile, Rick Ross's rival 50 Cent took the time to react, trolling him and Meek Mill. Take a look. He doubled down. Look.
Hey guys, I just saw a very unfortunate situation that took place in Canada, and I wanted to say to everyone, that I hope that brother made it home safely. I hope that he now has a different perspective and a better sense of what to do and what not to do while you're out in the world. That part where the young guy went he did this little move and shit and got knocked the fuck out, right there. That does not reflect him. That reflects his camp, and he might need to go get the Dream Chasers or the 305 Killers.
You're so shady. We love it. 50 also reposted a video of Rick Ross's baby mom. This is why Rick blocked us, because he blocked us after we posted his Tia Kemp. Look at what 50 posted about Tia.
This fat ass ain't throwing no blows. Man, Will, they swung on your fat ass. You ain't done. You stood your fat ass back, man. Your scary ass. Your big fat scary ass stood back, bitch. I'm looking good now from this angle. That bitch got back, man. He tried to. Oh, they kicking the shit out that security. They fucking his fat ass up. Watch this shit again, dog. That fat bitch got on khaki green or something. Look at him with his stank breath ass all in a nigga face with that doodle ass breath. I'm glad they smacked the shit out your bitch ass. This bitch ass out there in the crowd like he run the city. Man, you ain't.
Can I just take a pause and say, I met Tia. I got her number. I didn't tell you what happened?
No.
I went to lunch with two friends in Beverly Hills to Crustaceans.
Mm-hmm.
And when we got there, as I pull up, I look at them and they both have hoods on. I go, they're gonna discriminate against y'all. I was dressed. They had hoods on. I know that Crustaceans has the best garlic noodles and crab, but they are a racist, and I'm not going to say allegedly, I've had many racial experiences at crustaceans, but we love this noodles. Anyway, I looked at my friends and I said, they're going to be racist towards you. We go there, they tell us they have no room. I walk in, the whole restaurant's basically empty, except for some black people sitting at the front patio, and one of them happens to be Tia. So I see her, and I'm like, I recognize her. She looks familiar, but I don't know who it is, but whatever. We get into it. We exchange words. They call the police on me.
No, they did not.
I told him, I said, because I went through, started filming the restaurant empty. I said, they're going to call the police on me. They called the police, and he said, there's a black man in here and 2 black men in hoodies. They did all of that. Tia films the whole thing live on TikTok, and then when she calls me over, I'm like, hey, we have a whole conversation with me still live on her TikTok. So Tia was reporting from the scene. There, Tia, I said it myself. You can go find it on YouTube. Anyway, Tia also told one of Rosé's men to get up after he got beat down. Look, here's a photo. My man, Maybach music. I can't. Drake then posted himself unbothered to enjoy Canada Day. Here's a video.
Happy Canada Day to everybody. Cheers, man. Cheers to the whole country. Our day today. Sun's out. Enjoy it. Enjoy it.
So petty. I love it. Now, when Drake called Tia Kemp the GOAT, her baby daddy, Rick Ross, had this to say. Oh, so he put up custom designed fine rhymes into salary all the way from T-Dot to the Van City All-Stars. Tia said, Drake, and then he called her his GOAT. And then Rick Ross says, pedo versus granny. A minor. That's where that came from. God, Kendrick's song is going to live on forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Forever.
Well, either way, I just pray that all of you find peace, because at this point, it's just too much violence in the world. Your baby mama has now linked up with Drake. Be very terrified about that. Tia, congratulations on the aunties over at the Zeus Network. And you, Tokyo, and the woman banned from our award shows are welcome on the Jason Lee Show. I tell you what. Bye. P&D, Party Next Door, versus Chris Brown, Bryson Tiller, and Jeremiah. Well, baby, there's more beef going on between the R&B boys, and the R&B beef cooking up next door is the Party Next Door after he comes for Jeremiah, Bryson, and Chris Brown. Now, things recently got spicy after Jeremiah dropped the music video for his song Wait On It with Bryson Tiller and Chris Brown, which features Party Next Door's ex, Desma Triplet. Now, here's a photo of Party Next Door and Desma during happier times, and here's a photo of Desma with Jeremiah, and photos of Desma with Bryson, and photos with Desma and Chris Brown. Damn, what a threesome. Well, anyway, now Party Next Door and Jeremiah had beef in the past, but squashed it. Now, Party Next Door even brought Jeremiah on stage just hours before the now viral music video dropped. Here's a photo of them backstage, looking very cool. So when Party Next Door saw his ex with Jeremiah, Bryson, and Chris Brown in the video, he lost it, taking to Twitter with several tweet and deletes, even calling his ex a broke bitch. Look, I'm finna make these niggas cry. I'm finna make these niggas cry. Bryson, Chris, and Jeremiah. Enjoy the nights of your life. Doing videos at 34, that bitch broke. Today's the date. I know 5 R&B singers who broke. Well, Jeremiah reacted and reposted Party Next Door's tweets with this caption. I'm finna make, wait, what did he say? Oh, my fault if I double tap. What does that mean?
If he likes it.
I thought it meant something else.
What?
I was wrong.
Tapped it twice?
I thought it meant tap something else.
Cool, Party Next Door? You're so gay. Well, Chris Brown, who recently got into it with Quavo, and fans say he won, also reacted. Niggas speak without thinking sometimes. Then call around to my people trying to retract shit. Nah, nigga, go on your socials and apologize or keep that same energy when you see me. See, Chris, your problem is you're always right, but then you overreact and do that, and then people hate you because you're acting like a gangbanger instead of the next king of pop. You could be in Michael Jackson's shadow, but you're going to stay in the shadows of this industry if you continue to act like you belong on the Zeus Network. And that's no shade to the Zeus Network. They know what they got. Shit. You think they wouldn't allow Chris Brown to come over there and beat up Party Next Door for a bag? Of course.
Show.
Well, either way, Party Next Door ended up backtracking. Here's what he said. To be clear, I got nothing but love and respect for those guys. Shit happens. See, Chris made a phone call and then Bloods got to calling you and threatening you and they was going to shoot you here and there. Didn't Party Next Door, didn't Kendrick say he be playing with his nose? He said it, insinuating that you're allegedly. Doing cocaine.
Cocaine.
I personally think they need to raid all y'all houses and take y'all all to jail. I want whatever administration is going to start putting hoodlums away, because we should be able to be in these streets with the freedom of speech and the freedom of press without the idea that Party Next Door is going to come and literally party next door to us with a body bag waiting to put us in as Marina goes to her car, because she produces all this stuff. I'm just reading the teleprompter. Rob, don't you read everything I just said in the prompter?
I did.
You know what, Rob? Don't do that. Don't do that.
Well, are we tired of the R&B's?
No.
Yeah, I am.
Luther Vandross would have never been doing this with Al Green.
Exactly. Never.
If Twitter was up, I bet you they would.
Luther Vandross, who tried to jump in Vogue outside, not jumper, but I remember Don Robinson telling me that Luther Vandross told them, do not walk past my dressing room. They had to walk all the way around the arena because he wouldn't let them. But they didn't go online and go in the press and attack him about it. What is this new? What is this? These four people could do a song that we would love.
Mm-hmm.
They really would. It sounded like he was more mad at the girl, though, which he should just only be mad at the girl if you're going to be mad.
But how can Chris Brown be mad at him? Because wasn't he acting like this when Carucci was spotted with people?
But they were like, weren't they? I'm confused.
I saw Carucci at the nail shop yesterday.
Oh,
we spoke.
I like Carucci.
Yeah, it's very much like hi. This is how I am with the industry now. If you see me and speak, I will speak. Yeah. But I will not speak first anymore. Because the people that I love and that I care for, I have conversations with all the time. But like other people, it's like, I see you, I will speak. If you speak.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep it cute.
Just keep it cute and like, we don't have to have lunch. Don't stop me. Don't show me your dogs.
You don't need to be everybody's friend.
I don't want to be anybody's friend. I just want to be the friends of the friends that I have. And I have the best friends, by the way. I have found my village.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Floyd didn't get a portrait the other night at the award show.
He did not.
Did he come later somewhere? He
was there.
Oh, he just didn't see the red room.
Yeah, I don't think he saw the red room. I think
we need to have red room handlers next year.
We talked about that.
Literally, the girl at the carpet was not pulling people in. We need to have like a Sarah at the red carpet, somebody who knows me, like
who knows who's who,
right? Mm-hmm. Well, done. And now it's time for a little bit of fun because we got to get into the deep dive. Now, before I became Jason Lee, as you know, at Hollywood Unlocked and reality TV, there was a reality show that I actually made a guest appearance on with a friend of mine. That was the first reality thing I think I did. And it was with my friend who's joining us today here at the Jason Lee podcast, the one and only Queen of Basketball Wives, Jackie Christie. Jackie, let me give you an applause really quick, okay? People still tag me in that clip of the time that I pulled up on you at Basketball Wives. What season was that? Was that season 1 or 2?
You know what? That was season 2, Jason. You already know. That was so much fun. Thank you so much for doing that too.
Well, thank you for giving me that chance. I was plump Jason then, and then I lost weight and came back in probably season 32, even though I know that you're only in season 11. But, you guys have been on for so long. I came back later. I had lost all the weight. So there's so many clips of me and you or me in the Basketball Wives show that I believe I could be a basketball wife, if I wanted to.
You already know, Jason, and you're welcome anytime. Everybody loves you, and you keep it real, and that's what we do on the show anyway, so it would work perfect.
That's because I'm from Stockton, and you're originally around the Sacramento area. When I first came to see who Jackie Christie was when you was over there throwing them hands at the games. But, we can get into that in a minute. So season 11, you're back on the show. Of course, you weren't going to go anywhere because out of everybody there, besides Shawnee, you're the staple. Like, what would we do without Jackie Christie? How does it feel to be going into season 11?
You know what? Thank you for that, Jason. And it feels good. It's like when we started this ride, when they first called me and said, come out to LA and kind of head up this whole LA version, I didn't know where it would go. And I'm really honored because, a lot of shows don't make it this long. So it feels great.
They really don't, especially in today's market where TV is changing and the landscape of how people are digesting TV. Season 11, when I my show, the Jason Lee show, when I was over at that network that I'm no longer at, I did a live at their conference and I interviewed Brittany Renner, who I was surprised to see join the show because she was so, I know Brittany on a personal level outside the show, to see her join the cast, I was really waiting with bated breath to see what she was going to bring. And she did not disappoint. Did you like Brittany in the show, or did you think she just wasn't a good fit?
Let me tell you, Jason, that is such an amazing thing you're talking about. I want everybody to know, not only do I love Brittany on the show, off the show, when we first started out, we had a rocky start. I don't know if people know about it. It did kind of hit the blogs a little bit, but we actually got into it. We almost got into a physical altercation because the
You
first
and
day I
Brittany?
met her, she came to a party that we were having to welcome Evelyn back into LA, and she didn't know me. She had heard the preconceived things that people be putting out about me. So she approached me very negatively at first, and we kind of went at it. We had some words. I was like, listen, you in my city, baby girl, kiss the ring. And she was like, well, whatever, you was rude and da-da, and we kind of yelled at each other. But then, it all broke up. She was real mad. Everybody saw it in the blogs. She was hollering and screaming at production. The next day or 2 days later, we met up for Shawnee's dinner, and she was totally sweet. Like, I was prepared because everybody was telling me, oh, she's coming on 20. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to be on 30 then. If that's what she want to do, I don't even know her. Like, I'm trying to get to know all of y'all, and I'm doing nothing but giving you love. And if she bring that energy, I'm going to match it. She came in there, Jason, and was so sweet. And from that point on, we connected. And she was very vulnerable. And she said, I'm totally shocked. You are nothing like people try to portray you to be. And I'm honored. And if you want to mentor me, whatever you want to do.
Which is interesting because I know you and I know her, and I don't have, you know me, and I have a reputation. I know you have a reputation. I know her, she has a reputation. And when people meet us, it's like, wait a minute, you're not exactly what I thought you were. And I think that times we meet each other's representatives and we
Yeah.
don't give each other the chance. So I'm glad you guys were able to connect because I love Brittany. And did you think though, when she came into the show that she was was she given the haze of the new girls versus the vets? Because your show has been known to haze folks.
You ain't lying. And see, I used to be like, listen, you coming into the lion's den when you come here. Anything you hiding, don't worry, we're going to find out. I've always said that from season 1. And I feel like she did get hazed a little bit. She held her own. I just wish she wouldn't have made the decision to leave because, she made the decision to just leave the group. And when I heard about it in Houston, I don't know if people saw it on that episode, and I broke down in tears because it was something totally out of left field. I didn't see it coming. And I'm like, what? And then they shared with us that, yeah, Brittany said she doesn't want to be around the group. It hurt my heart.
But do you think that's because she felt bullied, or it just reality TV wasn't for her?
I think in this group, I think reality TV is definitely for Brittany, and she's got a bright future in it. And me and her, we talk, and hopefully people will see some things with us in the future. But she can definitely do it. And I feel like she just felt overwhelmed. She didn't feel like she was heard or seen or given a chance. Brittany is actually in the basketball world. And that's what I wanted everybody to see was, yeah, she might be this hot, sexy online video vixen, Instagram model, all this stuff that y'all see. And she's feisty, she get in your face and all that. But she is a sweetheart. She's smart as a whip. She's gorgeous and she's loving. But Brittany, it's either here or here. It's no really middle ground with her. She don't like bullshit. So I think that's what she felt was, look, this ain't the place for me. I want to do reality TV, not just with this group. And it was unfortunate.
So another basketball wife that is a former basketball wife on TV, but now is hopefully trying to become a basketball wife, Drea Michelle, who just had a kid by Jalen. She was drugged for filth when she got with that young boy. Do you think that that was unfair that people were targeting her because of her age versus his age? Or do you think that's just the public warning him that you're going down a slippery slope?
Well, you know what? Drea is my girl. That's my little sis, and I ain't got nothing but love for her. When I heard about it, I was all for it. I said, listen, if Drea has found love and this man is grown and she's grown, they're two grown people doing whatever they do. You can't put an age, ain't nothing but a number for one thing. And I feel like with Drea, she's smart enough to know if that's the person for her. And to have a baby, she made a conscious decision that this is somebody that's going to be in my life. Bringing a baby into the world is a serious thing, and I'm rooting for her. I see it. I'm happy. I love my girl, and I think, her being able to have that tough skin that Dre, I hope, developed when she was on Basketball Wives, and just try to ignore it. I'm not going to call people haters because I don't want to judge anyone's opinion. Some people feel this way, some feel that way. I personally am rooting for her and Jalen.
But as someone who's been married to their husband for, I'm going to just say decades at this point, because how many years have you been married? Because you just celebrated an anniversary.
28 going on 29. We get married for the 29th time in a week.
Almost 3 decades of marriage to one man. And so here's my question. We know that Drea said her wholeness was deleted. Do you believe that wholeness can be deleted, Jackie? Because, I mean, I used to be a hoe. Not long ago, I was a hoe.
You know
And
what? When Drea said that, I was like, Dre, don't you dare. But no, I listen. And Jason, you know you lying, and everybody adores Jason. And you always saying that. I don't think you was a hoe. And I feel like she was kidding when she said it. I don't know. I don't want to put words in her mouth, but I think Drea was more or less being sarcastic. Like, yeah, your wholeness can be deleted. She has a different sense of humor. So I just feel like anybody can change their life. Anybody can be something different whenever they choose to be. And if everybody tune in to Basketball Wives this season, oh, Jason, get ready. This conversation is definitely going to come into play, honey.
Wait, so who's being a hoe? Because we know you and Doug love the toy, like you love the toys and you had the little sexual. Come on, I know you now. See, the thing about, let me tell you about Jackie Christie. See, I don't need to look at notes to talk about how Jackie Christie and her husband have some kind of sex dungeon or something going on over there, because Jackie is the only person I know to own a liquor brand that will get you so lit that you will not only try to make a baby, but you will get in a fist fight at a taping of a reality show. Okay. And then on top of that, you were big on the whole, if I recall, I don't know if it was sex toys or sex something. So how are you keeping your love life like fiery after 28 years?
You know what? I love what you just said, Jason. You got me all hyped. I can't wait to go see my husband. I'm more in love with Doug today than I was yesterday, than I was 10 years ago, than I was 20 years ago. Like, it is so amazing. And I don't know if it's just you just keep growing. You keep loving on each other. He is my best friend. We could talk about anything. Example, we were just in Spain for the last 2 weeks. And I was just walking around on cloud 11. We had that private time, we always do, but we had that special private time where every night we went on a date. We would go and we would have dinner, and we were talking like two dating teenagers. And like, we just really, you're always reinventing yourself and you're digging in deeper and deeper. And every year that we get married again, we're just establishing our strong bond that we already have. So it's great. The sex is good. We watch movies every night in our theater. We built the life that we want, and now we're enjoying it. We enjoyed it then, and we're enjoying it even more now.
Wait, so who's initiating the sex? Is it you or him?
Both. Like, I crack up. I'm like, why do people think if they've been together 5 years or 10 years, and then all of a sudden, like Beyonce and Jay-Z, they getting freaky? Is driver let the partition down and all that still. And if it ain't, listen, talk to me, baby. Because it's all about that. Jason, I know this man. He knows me. He can say something to me, and it's over. See, when you know someone, the sex is even better.
There was that one season where one of the girls was kind of playing in your face with your husband. Well, was that Malaysia? When you and Malaysia had kind of fallen out because she was kind of being a little friendly with your man, and there was crazy Jackie. Okay, wait.
You know what? Malaysia and I had fell out like we always do. That's my sister from another mother, and I miss my baby so much. You know what I mean? But no, we had a thing, and I said, Malaysia, you want to go to lunch with my husband so he can tell you who I am? Because you know me, but my husband knows me in a different way. So I let them go to lunch, and then they was like chummy chum, and I'm in the car like, oh, hold up. I said talk about me, not be friendly, but they were just having a good time, and he was telling her, I love my wife, she's a great person, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, that's kind of what happened.
But the reason why I'm asking is because we saw the Jackie show up, that Jackie that used to be at the basketball games. My question to you is there any current basketball wife or past basketball wife that you would allow to have a threesome with you and Doug? Never?
Never.
But what about like a 30? What about like
with my husband? You know what I would do? They got the flyest blow-up dolls, Jason. If you go on Pornhub, let me tell you, them blow-up dolls look like real women. and they don't talk. They don't say nothing. They'll just lay there and do what you tell them to do. Now, we could have a threesome.
With a blow up doll, Jackie?
Yes. They have
But
all
what about like your
nationalities.
listen, your 30th anniversary?
Yes.
You could go to a country and bring somebody in that don't watch Basketball Wives, that don't know what's going on, have a little fun. Are you dead set? Like, do you and Doug ever talk about whether you'd be open to a third party, or is that conversation dead upon arrival?
No, you know what? I've always been open about that, even on the show and off the show, and in some books I've written. You can fantasize. That keeps the spark too. You ask what's kind of keeps the sexy thing going. We can fantasize all day long. He had a crush at one point, or not a crush, but he thought she was fine. Halle Berry. I'm cool with that. She's gorgeous. Mine was Ben Affleck, and it's like you can definitely fantasize mentally. But when you take that next step physically and you bring someone in, you opening up your relationship to a whole bunch of stuff, and I know people say, well, the mind is the same thing, but not really, because it's like role playing, kind of playing around, just keeping it spicy, having a good time, but we good with each other, so we don't even really need that.
And a blow up doll, you can fold it up and put it away, and it's not going to talk, and it won't come back pregnant.
There it is, Jason. Yes.
Got it. Okay, so I've been running into Brandy Maxill a lot in these streets in Beverly Hills. I've ran into her shopping at Neiman. I ran into her at a restaurant. She looks snatched. Are you guys getting along this season?
We are, but I'm gonna tell you, with me and Brandy, it's always some ups and downs. So everybody got to tune in to see, because Brandy comes in on 10. I'm sitting there on 5 until she come in on 10. Then I'm on 12. So we do have some things that I want everybody to watch. But this is a season where I feel like me and Brandy actually, I ain't gonna give it away. Everybody got to tune in.
But do you like Brandy being back? Because when Brandy was in the show years ago, her and Shawnee had this tussle over power and control, and her feeling like Shawnee was bullying her. And then Shawnee was, she's the queen bee. It's her show. Do you think her being back, is she standing on her own now, or what is it? What is it giving?
I feel like Brandy's definitely standing on her own. I don't really, I would never say this person should come or this person shouldn't. Now, I would say who my dream team is, that kind of thing. But at the end of the day, I feel like Brandy is back, and her and Shawnee's in a different place. I won't speak on exactly what it is, because I want everybody to watch the show. Brandy has a couple of different situations along with all the other cast members. Everybody is pretty much bringing it. And I feel like me more so, I'm all about love and trying to bring that unity, but I'm always getting challenged and I'm always getting backed into a corner, and this season ain't no different. So I want everybody to watch how it all pans out.
Interesting. And Shawnee's now the first lady of a church.
Yes.
She's crip walking to They Not Like Us on stage in the kingdom of heaven. I love her and her husband together, and Shawnee is so supportive. She's been very supportive of me and my campaign, and just supportive in general. But has Shawnee changed in the show now that she is the first lady of On Her Way to Heaven?
I think so. I think she's still how she is. This season gonna be interesting because without giving the show away, it's a lot of things and a lot of conversations, a lot of deep conversations. There's some situations where Shawnee and I have some hard conversations, and myself and Brandy, and myself and Brooke, and myself and Evelyn, and myself and Giselle, and Jennifer, and all the way down the list. But at the end of the day, I'm about digging deep. I'm about being real, and I'm about everybody putting their shit on the table. If we're going to be a sisterhood and we're going to grow forward, then you got to be able to say how you feel, and everyone has to respect that. And then you have to apologize and hold yourself accountable when you're wrong.
So Brooke Bailey's back in the show. You two almost threw hands some seasons ago. She since has lost her daughter. Do we see that during the show? You're a mom, and how did you react to it all?
Season 11, we saw a lot about, Brooke and her situation. Season 11A. This is season 11B. So I did a lot of shooting and stuff with like my talk show and different things like that separately from those guys. But I'm excited to tune in and see where we're at with all of that. She had her charity stuff on 11A, and we all went and supported and all of that. So we'll see if it continues on through. But yeah, she's back on the show. I won't say what happens with me and her this season, but everybody got to tune in. It's always a thing with Jackie and Brooke. So, but yeah.
No, Jackie and Brooke gives us the spice that we need. We need that. Wait. So season 11 A and B. How many episodes y'all got? Because I know we're going into episode 14. How many episodes y'all got in this season?
I believe it's 24, and last season was 26. So
See,
yeah, it's really good. And
that's
the
when
fans, Jason, thank you and thank the fans and everybody for supporting this show. I know it's a legacy show, been around a long time. I'm just getting started. So whether it be on this platform or another, because I do have a lot of things coming up in TV and film, that it's that time. I didn't do it before because I was fearing hurting people's feelings, stepping on toes, upsetting the network and people like that. But Jason, I've got so much that I need to share with my fans and people while I'm here and while we got the opportunity. So that's what I'm going to do. So I want everybody to stay tuned for all of my amazing stuff I got coming up.
Okay, so you're going on to 29 years of marriage, right? Jennifer Williams gets married after she was dating the guy who killed his cousin.
Oh.
I'm gonna say allegedly, even though he was found
Allegedly.
guilty of murder. He paid $5,000 to kill his cousin. She was going through a very reportedly abusive relationship with him. What do you make of this new marriage or this new wedding that she's planning? Do you see it working?
You know, I'm excited for her wedding. I'm not involved in a lot of that. I should be because you guys know I know all about marriages and weddings, but I'm happy for her. I met Christian. He's a very nice man. There's some things that's going to come up this season that I want everybody to watch. I won't give away the show that you guys should see our interaction on. And yeah, I really hope and I'm rooting for them to make it.
But you got to give us something. Okay, so when you see them together, does it scream this is going to work? You've been in marriage for 29 years. You know, you can see if something's going to work or not, can't you?
Yeah, you know why I would have to say it looks to me, you know, without saying anything about the show, because I want Jennifer's journey with her and Christian and their family to be hers, and I adore Jen. I do. I know we have, you know, we headbutt each other, but at the end of the day, that's my sister, and she is a fellow basketball wife, even if she's divorced or not. And I feel like with this relationship, it has a very strong potential to make it. I think he loves her. In fact, I don't think. I know he loves her, and I know she loves him. Now, they have people go, oh well, she's this age and he's that age. She's almost 50 and he's this. Doesn't matter, you know, because I feel like age is just a number. If they really put in the commitment, the devotion, the time, they'll be okay. I think he knows by now Jennifer's at that age where she wants to settle down. She wants to have, you know, that type of strong foundation and, you know, a solid home. And, you know, he is younger, but I think he can definitely step to the plate.
Yeah, I mean, she deserves happiness, and people only bring up age when it relates to a woman. Like men could
Yeah.
be dating any age they want, nobody cares. So we're not even going to go there. All right, Evelyn Lozada, she was recently on the Jason Lee show. You know, Evelyn went through a lot a couple seasons ago with the whole OG madness. We're not even going to bring that up because I got dragged into it. But she's back and OG's not there. What do you think about Evelyn being back? Are you guys getting along?
You know what? Evelyn is back in Evelyn fashion, and you already know me and Evelyn have been to hell and back, and we constantly find a way to come back together in the end. I think that there's a fiery passion between the two of us, and if I was to look at this group of women and say, and that's, I'll name the ladies, myself, Evelyn, Jennifer, Brooke, Brandy. If I looked at this core group of women, I would have to say me and Evelyn's probably, to me, the closest. And watch this season because you're going to see some things. But I will tell you, I that's a good girl. I love her. I do.
Well, why didn't you mention Laura Govan? She's back.
Oh, and Laura Govan. Laura is there, but I won't give away Laura's how she is on the show. She came in, you know, sometime, you know, during filming. So of course, Laura too. And I mess with Laura. Laura is another.
But it sounds like you get along with everybody. Nobody watches reality TV to see everybody get along. Like this isn't Golden Girls. This is basketball.
You notice, Jason, I'm being politically correct because for one, I cannot give away the show, and two, everybody sees from all the promos and stuff that, look, I'm most hated. So from my perspective, I have no issues. From others' perspectives, there's always an issue. Jackie Christie is villain number one. So throughout the season, it will be voluptuous. There will be excitement. There will be tears. There will be love. There will be explosions.
Did anybody throw hands? Who threw hands?
I'ma say it gets almost physical. It gets a little. Just watch the season because
Okay,
people are gonna be blown away.
who on this cast? If and you have to answer this question. Forget
Okay.
political correctness. I don't want to get fuck that. Okay, if there is one person, if there's one person on this cast, Jennifer Williams, Jackie Christie, Brooke Bailey, Shawnee Henderson, Evelyn Lozada, Nora Dorsey Tagger, Brandy Maxill, Jack Ill Duckworth, Laura Govan, and Vanessa Ryder. One of them got to go today. Who are we firing from the
Oh
show?
my God, who are we firing? Oh. If I was to be politically correct, I would say Jackie Christie should go and go do her own spinoff and, then come back to the ladies. But I'm not going to do that because right now it's a little testy. So I might be giving people what they want. I don't want to do that. So I would say if somebody had to go in that group of people, Jason, I'm going to plead the fifth. Whenever I say something.
I'm sorry, Nick Cannon's not here. This is not Wildin' Out.
Listen, we got to shoot the reunion, Jason.
Right, Brent. Listen, what I love about my girl Bundle of Brittany Renner. She came on the show and she called y'all bitches. She called y'all haters. She let y'all have it, and that's what we love. Jackie, there's no way you mean to tell me you believe all the women on this sheet deserve to sit at the table that you built at the basketball?
No, I don't, but I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to come back this way, Jason, because you already know. We started this thing together. I'm going to say this. If I had to choose a dream cast, 5 women that I feel like would take this show.
5 women.
To Mars. It'll take us to the stratosphere. Elon Musk type stratosphere. Jackie Christie, Drea Michelle, Malaysia Pargo, Brittany Renner, Chantel Christie.
Your daughter?
Yeah.
And let me
everybody say 7, because I got to put Evelyn in there. Evelyn Lozada, and let me see one more.
Shawnee?
If Shawnee was into this, I got to say 8. Shawnee, Jennifer.
That's it.
Yeah.
Fire everybody else. So basically what you said is basically what you said was the recasting of the show and adding all these extras on basically is taking up unnecessary space.
I did not do that. And listen to me, Jason. I am recording this shit,
Jackie, I know you better than everybody.
We gotta include JCL Duckworth. That's my
what I heard you say was, this is what I heard you say. Fuck all these new hires that are taking up space and oxygen unnecessarily. Just bring in the originals and my daughter and we got this. That's what I heard.
Let me tell you, Jason, I'm ready to take this shit to another level, and I hope it's with this. And I pray it is, because I think everybody is going to love this season. Oh, my God. It's so many great things. We got weddings. We got tears we cry together. We got ponderosas. We got talk shows. We got so much going on. I think the fans are going to be excited and ready for this. I will say this. I don't know how much I appear, but stay tuned.
Well, speaking of talk shows, before we get out of here, the Jackie Christie project I see behind your head, I actually was on your podcast. Remember, I did that too as one of the episodes at the show. Let's talk about the talk show that I'm hearing that you have coming up.
Thank you so much, Jason. Yes, you was. You was on the podcast. I still got it going. It's a lot of amazing things. I've been in the process of selling it. That's why I wasn't releasing episodes. But I'm pretty sure that they're going to allow me to start releasing some. So I will. And yours, I have 3 of my top faves. You're up in the top 3. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, but you already know. Number 1. Because Ernest is my baby too.
Yeah.
My talk show is going to be fanatical and fabulous. Everybody saw my llama. I love animals. It's different than anything anybody's seen. I can't give away anything because we got to watch the show, but I love my network family and I love my new network family for that talk show. So yeah, stay tuned for a lot of great things.
Well, listen, Jackie, let's make sure that everybody tunes in to see the Basketball Wives season 11B, because they already had 11A, which means they're all getting bags of money over there at the network. And shout out to VH1 for making sure that Jackie pulled up today to tell us that we just gonna go back to the originals and her daughter because she don't need all them other hoes.
I didn't.
Kudos to you.
Oh, I'm gonna kill you. I didn't. And I forgot to add Brandy. Brandy Maxie. Oh my God, there's so many people I left off. I'm so sorry. I need to know about the podcast. You got it on my mind. Or my topic.
Jackie, we have a shade cam over here. I'm going to look at it right now.
Oh, I'm going to get you, Jason.
It's always a good time. Listen, when you get back from all your travels and everything, come on to the Jason Lee Show so we can sit down in studio and we can have a good time.
Let's go. And I'm going to give you exclusives that day.
All right, good. All right, make sure you guys tune into the Basketball Wives on VH1. Get into it because, we got to see what Jackie's up to.
Boom.
Peace. What a show. I'm glad it's over. It's time for Thoughts and Prayers. We've made it halfway through 2024, an election year, and some folks still don't know who they're voting for. Now, after this week's debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden, the decision should be crystal clear. Now, forget about popularity. Our rights are being threatened, okay? Now, women's productive rights aren't the only principles on the chopping block. Project 2025. 2024 isn't even over, and the Supreme Court has now ruled that presidents have immunity for certain crimes committed while seated. Trump is laughing in all y'all faces. What more is it going to take, y'all, to understand that this is a problem? And how many more beefs are going to brew this year? Now, Drake and Rick Ross are still trolling each other. Now, Drake's OVO artist, PARTYNEXTDOOR, is literally beefing with the party next door, Jeremiah, Bryson, and Chris, and over his ex. She clearly isn't loyal. So, PARTYNEXTDOOR, just move on. As I'm about to do, I'm about to get up out of here. So come back and see me next week as I do my black thing at my black-owned business. That's it for this episode of the Jason Lee Podcast. Make sure that you tune in to season 11 of the Basketball Wives on VH1 and continue to follow us on all social media because we're lit. Peace.
The Jason Lee Podcast.